In New York City real estate, few terms are as loaded as pied-à-terre. It appears in listings across New York, and it's become a point of contention in debates about housing in this city. Today we're going to talk about what it actually means, who buys them, where to find them, and the rules that govern how they can be purchased. I'm Carlo Romero, and welcome back to StreetEasy Home School. A quick note before we begin. We're sharing general guidelines in this video, so please consult with a real estate or financial professional for advice specific to your situation. The term pied-à-terre is French and translates literally to a foot on the ground. In New York City real estate, a pied-à-terre is an apartment used occasionally by its owner, not as a primary residence. Pied-à-terre owners typically live somewhere outside the city or even outside the country and use the units for short stays like business trips, weekend visits, or extended time in the city throughout the year. Because the owner isn't living there full-time, a pied-à-terre is classified as a non-primary residence. That classification matters a lot for building rules, for financing, and increasingly for tax policy. Pied-à-terre buyers tend to fall into a few categories. Some are commuters who live in the suburbs like Long Island, New Jersey, and Connecticut and want a place to stay in the city. Others are out-of-state or international buyers who spend part of the year in New York and need a home base. Some are professionals who work in the city periodically but maintain their primary home elsewhere. These units are often studios or one-bedrooms, smaller apartments that work for occasional use without the carrying costs of a larger primary residence, but they can be larger depending on the purpose. For example, if shared by a family. The use cases vary widely, and so do the price points. Pied-à-terre can be found across all 5 boroughs, from modest studios to larger units in full-service buildings. Pied-à-terre purchases tend to be concentrated in a handful of Manhattan neighborhoods, largely driven by access and convenience. Midtown, particularly between 50th and 70th Streets, is a popular location. Properties in this area are close to Lincoln Center, the Theater District, major transit hubs like Grand Central and Penn Station, and offer easy access to the rest of the city. For buyers whose primary motivation is convenience, location often matters more than amenities. Newer developments in neighborhoods like Hudson Square tend to attract buyers looking for a hotel-like experience with a concierge and luxury amenities. The Upper East Side and Upper West Side also see pied-à-terre interest, particularly in established co-op buildings, though as we'll get into in a moment, co-ops come with significant restrictions on this type of purchase. In many New York City purchases, the co-op versus condo question is a matter of preference. For pied-à-terre buyers, it's a matter of whether you can buy at all. Co-op buildings are often restrictive when it comes to pied-à-terre use. Many prohibit it outright. Others evaluate it on a case-by-case basis. Co-op boards generally want residents who live in the building full-time, are part of the community, and are present enough to notice problems like leaks and maintenance issues before they escalate. A unit that sits empty for weeks at a time can raise concerns for boards. If a co-op does allow pied-à-terre use, it's typically noted clearly in the marketing materials. Buyers should be upfront about their intentions from the start of the buying process, as misrepresenting your intentions can have legal and financial consequences. Condos operate differently. Condo buildings generally don't require special approval for non-primary residence use. Buyers need to meet financial requirements, but how often they plan to use the unit isn't usually a factor in the approval process. As a result, the majority of pied-à-terre purchases in New York City happen in condo buildings. Pied-à-terre are more common in New York City than people realize. The city's 2023 Housing Vacancy Survey counted roughly 59,000 homes used for seasonal or recreational purposes. And as with any real estate decision in this city, the details are key. Building rules, board approvals, tax implications, neighborhood trade-offs, there's a lot to navigate. Whether you're looking to buy a primary or secondary residence in New York, you can contact our complimentary StreetEasy concierge at the link below to be matched with a top buyer's agent. And check out our blog to start exploring neighborhoods, home types, and more. We look forward to helping you unlock life's next chapter. Thanks for watching.